So today I'm joined by Sylwia. Sylwia is the owner of Infinity Sport Kitesurfing School, and they teach different levels of kite surfing and stand-up paddleboarding, and they've also got an online shop as well. So welcome, Sylwia.
Hi everyone. So nice to be here, and thank you for your time.
No, great to have you with us, Sylwia. So, Sylwia, tell us a bit more about Infinity Sport Kitesurfing School.
Okay, so we are a family-run business. The school is owned by my husband and myself, and the big supporter to our kitesurfing school is our son, Jeremiasz, who is 14 years old, and he is also a kite surfer. So yeah, this is who we are. We are a Polish family who moved to UK in 2004. So now it has been a while. We settled here in Kent, and 3 years ago we were thinking it's a good time to start sharing passion with others, just show people how much we do love the sport. And we were hoping to build a big community, and we are slowly achieving this. And yeah, so since 1st of April 2021, the school started. We started operating just from the van, just like man in the van. And working in the sea is it's not like you can have a certain pattern of your working hours from 9 till 5. We are dictated by, we've got rules dictated by Mother Nature. So we are not allowed to teach at the high tide. We can only teach at low water. So our working hours are all over the places. And working from the van, it was really logistically very difficult to manage everything, the gear, the stock, and yes, the customers. So then a year later, we started to look for options, what we can do. And we started a conversation with Folkestone and Hythe Council, what we can do about the future, what we can do to promote Kent even more. Conversation started and now carries on to a very interesting project. However, in the meantime, we really wanted to have a base where our customers, students, our community can join us and they can have home by the sea. So last year in April, we leased a property here in Leeds, and this property is part of it is a shop and a part of it is a school, but we focused on a very home-based feeling. So everyone who enters feels like, okay, I'm safe here. This is the place where I want to be. And it looks like we've achieved it, and the community is growing and growing, and we are stronger and stronger. So if someone would ask me, oh, how your business is doing, it's weird to say, but I'm not a very business person. I'm more like human people person. And as long as we have people around us, we are happy and everything flourishes. And we flourish with people when we have them around. This is when the magic happens. And this is our business. Our business is about people, about community, and about passion.
Yeah, that's a lovely. Thank you for that background. That's great. And I completely agree with what you sort of said there. Is actually, business is all about giving people what they want. And yeah, that's what you're looking to do. So Sylwia, what made you set up your own business? Because it's quite a step, isn't it, to go from, because I think I'm right in saying you were previously an employee, and then you've moved now to a business owner in 2021. So what made you do that?
Okay, so for many years I used to work for Stansted Airport, a maintenance company, and I was like responsible for cost budgets and everything. Figures, stress on a daily basis. Then we found kitesurfing, and that was our relief from the stress. And then in 2018, we decided to move here and to have more of this freedom, more of kitesurfing on a doorstep. For a couple of years, we worked for another school here locally. And then when the pandemic came in place, we were thinking what we can do, how we can get our life back to the happy level, happy status again. And that wasn't anything what we were thinking or planning for a long time. Just one, our friend came in and said, "You guys should do it. You've got it all. You should do it." And I think that was the day when we said, "Let's try it. We have nothing to lose. Let's try it." And hence why they started to work from the van. We just thought, we've got the van, we can utilize the space. And this is how everything started. And it was just a big step coming from the van to the property and having suddenly the overhead. So I think that was the biggest move in our business. And this is where we were thinking, is our passion strong enough to take on board so many commitments? And we sat together as a family and we said, yes, we are, because we have these people give us a huge power, huge strength, and we're going to do it. And this is how everything came in place.
And you mentioned your son earlier, and you just mentioned you sat down as a family. So do you involve your son in those decisions as well and talk it through with him?
Yes, of course, because it's very important that it's not only us as a parents who are there to lead the life. We always think that we have to be happy together, and if we can do what we love together, then we spend more time together. And this is how it was. So when we started to kitesurf, our son, for example, was a competitive swimmer. And then when he started kitesurfing, at the same time, he was assigned to Olympic program in swimming. And after a short period of time, he said, "Mom, I'm actually a little bit bored with swimming because I am on my own all the time in the water. Kitesurfing gives me a different spectrum. I'm with people and everyone is so happy. I want to do it." So now when we made this decision that we all into kitesurfing, it's also very important how we carry the weight of a business and a passion, because we have to be very careful to maintain both at the right level. So our son needs to be happy. My husband needs to be very happy doing what he loves to do, because he is absolutely crazy on water. And obviously, it's the same with me. I still need to love it. I need to have time to be able to go on water and do what's important.
Yeah, I think that's very important as a business owner, isn't it? To get that balance between every aspect of our lives, and to ensure we maintain that's one of the things that I focus on with my clients, is making sure that actually they've got the balance that they want, and it's very important that it's the balance that they want, because not everybody's balance is the same. So it's actually saying, okay, well, what balance do you want in your life, and how can we achieve that with your business and make sure that you keep that going forward? So, okay. And sorry, go on, Sylwia, you were saying.
I think we are lucky in the sense that we do this as a family. So for us, it's the same balance for everyone. It's not like I need to have my own balance, my own bubble. Same with my husband and same with our child. When we've got the same flow, it's easier to maintain. Please don't get me wrong. It wasn't easy to find the balance when you have to literally put your head down and work 24/7 to get you somewhere, to get us somewhere. But then you need to take a step back. Sometimes at the very crucial moment, you need to take a step back. And yes, we were there. We've gone so fast, so far in, and then you realize, oh no, this is not where I want to be. You need to slow down, take the step back, and readjust everything again. So I think being in this as a family is helping us big times.
Yeah, another great bit of advice there that you said, Sylwia, is there's a great book by Stephen Covey or Covey. I don't know how to correctly pronounce his surnames. It's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and one of those habits is start with the end in mind. So actually start with what you want to achieve, and then create your plan to how to achieve that. Because as business owners, what we often do, as you mentioned there, is go into things straight away without thinking what the end plan is, what the goal. And then suddenly we realize, actually, this isn't what I want. This isn't going in the direction that I felt. And so then we have to, Stephen Covey refers to it as sort of, it's like climbing a ladder. What happens is you start climbing the ladder, and you might get halfway up the ladder, or you might even get to the top of the ladder. But then you realize you've put the ladder against the wrong wall. So what he says is make sure your ladder's against the right wall first, and then start climbing, which I think is great, which is what you said there. So Sylwia, what as a business owner, so you've been running for about 2 years now. So what challenges have you faced in those 2 years that perhaps you didn't anticipate when you started out?
The challenges, our business is a little bit different to the usual business 9 to 5. So for us, as a challenge on a daily basis is the forecast, the wind, and at the moment, the biggest challenging factor is the global warming, because the whole temperature around the globe is changing. It's really hard to predict what's going to happen tomorrow. And to be able to balance this with your business spendings, overhead, and your future plans is very, very time consuming. You have to be very careful how you do things and what decisions we make. And having this now literally in mind on a daily basis, we have to make sure that we reach out for new resources to still motivate, inspire, and have people around. And it's not like, oh, let's find another activities. It's about also giving people the thought, the realization that, okay, maybe together we can change something. Maybe together we can have a little impact on the weather, on the water status, and all of this. It's not only about the business challenges, but it's also on a bigger picture as well. Obviously, the next biggest challenge is the winter, because we can only teach in UK from about, let's say, March till October, and then from October till March we are completely quiet. So that means we need to really maintain our energy and opportunities through the 7 months of the season to make sure we've got enough, if I can say, to last the whole year. Hence why the shop is running in the background to keep us going through the year. So shop is there to keep us on the satisfactory level for the whole year, but the 7-8 months of the season in England makes us work 100% every day. So this is another challenge of managing our performance, our health, our fresh mind, to be able to act the same every day. You need to come and greet people with the same energy every day. And that is also a challenge. It's not very much, I would say, business economy challenge, but when you think about this from the perspective of your finances, actually it is. Because if we are a community-driven business, if we are for the people, so that means we need to be healthy, we need to be happy, and this is how we, I don't want to say that, but this is how we sell, this is how we provide services by selling ourselves, how we feel, and how we act for the day.
Yeah, look, and that is what you've just described there is our business challenges, the you know the seasonality. You know, there's numerous businesses out there that suffer from a similar thing, and some it might be the same as you. You know, it might be, what example can I give? You know, ice cream salesman or something like that. You know, they've got the same issue. The other way round is somebody with an opposite thing, an umbrella salesman. You know, they want it to be raining as much as possible so they can sell their umbrellas. So it's, you know, there's the real challenges there. So you mentioned there, Sylwia, about you know, the where you want to take the vision, the business. So what's your vision for your business in the future?
My business in the future is more, again, like our business in the future. My partner and our son, we always dreamed and dream about being able to offer services and lessons for disabled people, for people and kids with learning difficulties. We would like to be able to share our passion not only with healthy cooks, with healthy people. We would like to engage more community. We would like to engage more kids. Like our son is always saying, Mom, we live by the sea and here is only very few kids out playing at the beach. And this is the thing. We would love to engage more kids into the game, show them how important it is, maybe not to kite straight away, but how important it is to understand how the water works, how the tide works, when to go into the sea, when not to. So when we talk about this vision of idyllic business, this is what we would like to do. When we are talking about the vision when it comes to facilities, as I mentioned just before, we are now in the process of building the project with the Folkestone Hive Council. And the vision for the next year is that we're going to have our facilities in Littlestone Beach at the car park, where there will be 6 containers. We're going to have toilets, changing rooms, showers, lovely promenade, and beautiful car park, everything with fresh water, electricity, and accessible. And that is the main thing, accessible for the kids under 18 and for the disabled people as well. So there are 2 different spectrums of where we would like to be in the future.
That's fantastic. I really like that, but that's great news about the containers and your businesses moving forward. That's brilliant. So you mentioned earlier, Sylwia, about the challenge of because of things that happen, the weather and global warming and those sort of things. So how do you, with those factors in mind, how do you set yourself goals that you want to achieve, and how do you adapt to changes?
So first of all, like adapt to changes is constantly changing and improving on the gear which we teach, constantly looking for new solutions and the way how we approach the whole teaching syllabus and equipment. Plus, we trying to split also the syllabus maybe in smaller portions. So some of the portions are achievable when the wind isn't that great. Also, when we have the days when the wind is nearing 0. So then we have paddle boarding. We've got also kite buggy, which gives us opportunity again to use the water, the sea, the beach, and still have loads of fun. So there are multiple ways how we are fitting through the all new, how would I say it, weather patterns But that, like from every business, require from us constant thinking, constant improvement, constant research, and also learning from others. When you talk to other schools and activity providers, we are trying to see, is this adaptable for our kite sport? Can we actually achieve that? So yes, there are definitely challenges in that way as well, and the huge challenges and always very expensive challenges.
Being in business is expensive.
Yes.
So that adaptability there, that flexibility, and you know, I really like your thinking there, and it's another thing I speak to my clients about quite often is that actually it's turning challenges into opportunities, and that's really what you've sort of described there, is because we're faced with challenges all the time, every day, but it's about how we can look at those as opportunities, how we can turn them into opportunities. And my view, Sylwia, is that we set ourselves goals that we want to achieve, but it's never a straight line to that goal. There's always, you know, obstacles and challenges on the way, and that's what we have to adapt and be flexible. And it sounds like you've got that mindset that does that and approaches that in a great way. So what's been your biggest learning since you've been in business, Sylwia?
Oh my goodness, this is a tough question. Biggest learning. Definitely now the time management. Time management in the business is so key, and especially when we are a small business and you have to multitask on a daily basis, and then being a mother, being a wife, being a business owner, being an accountant, being an instructor, you suddenly become a multi-skilled person, and it doesn't matter if you love the skill or not, you still have to do it. No one is asking you, oh, do you like a paperwork? No one cares about this because you already decided you want to be a business owner. So this is definitely a biggest learning curve, how we manage the time, how we work to a schedule and time frames from HMRC, from suppliers, and all of this. It is one of the biggest, however, very rewarding skill which I've just learned, because I would never ever, or I didn't think before previously that I can just shift not only the papers but the duties and the tick off list so quickly and so efficiently. So this is definitely something what, yes, I appreciate as a new learning curve.
Yeah, it's actually one of my top 4 for new business owners and every business owner. You know, first of all, you know, you've got your destination. That to me is, as we just discussed, knowing where you're going. That's often a big challenge. Time is always a big challenge, because you set out to be a kite surfing instructor, not an accountant, not a marketing person, not a sales person, not you know, and suddenly you've got all these other hats to wear. And I always say there's no such thing as time management. You can't manage time, but you can manage yourself.
Yes,
it's about self-management. So yeah, one of the things I think is very important. And then the other two, just quickly, delivery. You know, making sure you deliver on time, on budget, on specification, what the client wants. And then the final one is finance. You know, they're the big 4 challenges with when they start business. But if I was to say to you, I always like to ask this question to everybody that I speak to, Sylwia, is if I was to ask you, what would you say to an 18-year-old you? What advice would you give an 18-year-old you?
Go for it. Never doubt. Never think twice. If you feel something by heart, just go and try it. Now, when I look back, I'm thinking why I wasn't trying, why I wasn't going for it, why? now when I look back, I'm grateful that my mother allowed me to travel a lot, that I had already bigger spectrum of seeing how the world is living. I'm grateful that my mother gave me a very strong skills and kind of independence as well. But I would still say, on top of all of those things which I'm grateful, please always go for it. Don't think twice. Fear is just a voice. It's just here. The fear doesn't exist. And yes, we should be trying all the time.
Great bit of advice, and absolutely agree with you about fear. And if you haven't seen it, you should watch and anybody watching this should watch a YouTube clip by Will Smith, the actor Will Smith, about fear, and he relates it to skydiving. It's really funny and it's great. It's great to watch. So take an opportunity. It's about sort of 5-6 minutes long. But Sylwia, look, I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with me today and sharing more about your business and your journey. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your time. It was a pure pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.